like a bleak winter wonderland out there. Oh, so yeah, this is just a reminder for all the little boys and girls out there. And I know there's one little guy, he watches our show all the time. So I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to Logan. Hey Logan, hope you had a good Christmas. And just keep in mind, if you didn't get everything you wanted this year, there's always next year. There's always doing all the chores and all the stuff. People backing up without looking. There's always doing all these little extra jobs that you can do to help out mom and dad. And you never know. Santa knows everything. He sees all of this stuff. Just like me right now, going to do a little errand so that all Tammy and the kids are nice and warm in the house while I'm out freezing my butt off in the crazy cold temperatures. The hit on the cars, by the way, of these cold temperatures on electric cars, it's crazy. Like, you can literally cut your stated range in half. If the car starts out saying that, yeah, you're charged to 360 kilometers, you're getting half of that. And that's if you drive well and conservatively. If you drive super hard, a little harder, if you run the heat on full all the time, like Tammy does, you're not going to get that that range you think you're going to get. So, by the way, I have this discussion multiple times with Tammy and with friends. I always back into parking spots. I have a theory, and I believe I'm correct. Those of you from different parts of the world, let me know what your thoughts are on this. When I park in a parking lot, I'll always back in, because backing up is one of the hardest things to do when you're driving. It's also one of the areas, kind of like an airplane, when it's taking off or when it's landing, those are the most sensitive times. Those are the times where if something goes wrong, it's going to be tough to recover. Just like with a car, when you're backing up, that's where things can go wrong very frequently. People can come out, people aren't paying attention when they're backing up. So what I do is I very carefully back into my parking spots. I use all my mirrors, I use the cameras that I've got. I back into my parking spot with my thinking being that when it's time to leave, I just get to drive out. Whereas like that guy over there that was backing up that just about hit me, you know, he's probably got a little snow on his camera or on the windshield. It's just a, you know, fact of living in a winter wonderland like we do. You don't always get all the snow off. Sometimes that means you don't get to see, or you get the snow off, but your windows fog up because your heat's coming in and it's just instantly fog for a few minutes, but you still got to go. Backing in is the right thing to do. So master backing up, as I have, and I think you'll reduce your chance of accidents in the future. My buddy Clint was on my side on this. Now, he's no longer with us, but he was also right, like me. The rest of you who disagree, it's okay. It's okay to disagree. It's just that you're wrong. And I can't be wrong with you on this. Okay, I'm going to get groceries. Oh, and a special thank you to all the people of the grid that sent us Merry Christmas wishes and Happy New Year's wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for watching our channel. Thanks for liking the videos. Thanks to the one person who consistently hates the video, but now he can't or she can't because the dislike button is gone. I know you still dislike the videos, and I know you're still with us, so thanks to you too. Thing I haven't told you about yet was when we drove out for the Christmas party, we had Ethan with us, and that was on Christmas Day. Now, we usually try and get out as early as we can because we have Christmas dinner together with the family, but by the time we get up, open all of our presents, we have breakfast and brunch at our house, and then we get underway, you know, we're trying to get away by about 11:30. I think this year we didn't get out until about 2 o'clock, 2:30. I think it was 2:30. So it's about an hour and a half drive. There's snow on the road, takes a little longer. We got out there at around 4:15, 4:20. It was freezing cold. We got there with barely any range left. What I had intended to do was to get there with at least some range left so that we could plug in, charge up the Tesla, and then Ethan could turn around and come home, as soon as we had enough range. And that's what we did. The Tesla was plugged in because Tammy's, I don't know, for some reason they nerfed the chargers. If you plug into a NEMA 1450, Tammy's charger just gives us 30 amps or 32 amps, not 40 amps, which we should get on a 50 amp plug. So that took us until about midnight. I think Ethan left around 1 in the morning, because at 1 in the morning he had just about enough range, 300 kilometers of range to cover the 152 kilometers it would take to get to the house. And we're thinking, you know what, you drive reasonably, that should be pretty good. And that's how it went. He rolled into town on just a couple of electrons remaining. I think the odometer said there was 10 kilometers left, which is like 6 miles. And then he plugged the Model X into the garage, which is what we had taken, and he pulled my car, the S, out onto the driveway, and he actually took that to work early next morning. He had to work at 7 a.m., so he didn't get a lot of sleep that night. Took my car to work, covered off his day here in Calgary, and by the time he was ready to come back to Lomond the next day, which is again an hour and a half drive, 150 odd kilometers, Tammy's car had enough range, just enough again to get out there. So he drove it back out, again rolled in with electrons, we plugged it in, and we had plenty of range to get ourselves back home because we charged it to full for this morning. Whew, so here we are. But yeah, the cold takes a real toll on any electric vehicle. Thankfully with the Teslas we've got the range and we can drive warm. We don't have to suffer the way other people do. So I'm very thankful for that. It's a nice thing to have. And I know some people have asked, if I'm out shopping for an electric car, which one should I get? And so you can go back through some of the previous videos where I make these recommendations, but here's kind of the thought process I have. Buy the biggest battery you can, buy the, to get the longest range out of the car. Shoot for a car that has, active battery heating and cooling, and then get a Tesla if you can. It's still the best supported electric car on the planet. It has the most chargers available, the most charging options. So when you're shopping an electric car, biggest battery, longest range, and the most charging options. That's kind of the top 3 that you should go for. And then for the rest, get the car that works for you. If you're only going to drive in the city and never doing long distance drivings, that's about the only, or one of the few scenarios where you'd say, okay, well, I could get away without a Tesla. Because in the city, you've got a lot of options. You can charge at home, and now the EVs, if you get the biggest range and the biggest battery that you can afford, you'll have good options even in the winter time. But if you're going long distance travel, Tesla is the only way to go, really. We saw this on a recent Kimberley trip where we went and we went off the Tesla grid. We went on to the public grid, which today, where I live, it's growing. It's not where it needs to be. There's like places where you can charge and there's only one charger. Well, that's good if you're the only one using it, but if you're the person that shows up and somebody else is using it, that party comes to an end real fast, and you're like, now I'm being delayed and I gotta wait. And at least Tesla is smart enough to stack up multiple chargers, and they charge fast, so the cars get out of the way so that new ones can charge. So yeah, those top 3 things: biggest battery, longest range, battery management, those are key. And then outside of that, the Kias are nice, the new Nissan Leafs are nice, for in-city driving. But for me, if it was me, I would at a minimum go with a Tesla Model 3, because then you're getting good range, you're getting the Tesla network to use, and you can run off of any of the chargers. It just gives you the most options, which I think is still important. Once we have as many chargers as we have gas stations and we have extra spots, then you'll be able to get whatever you want. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I haven't been up on the different brands. I know the Leaf is great. I know the Hyundais are great. I know the Teslas, of course, are great. Those are the ones that I'm very familiar with, or more familiar with. And then we get into these others like the Mercedes and the Audis and all the others that are coming out. Just go with what you like there and what gives you the best feel. The other thing with backing up is you got to watch for people. So, you know, either way, whether you do it when you arrive or when you leave, you've got to watch for people. I think you're in the driving mode when you get there. When you're leaving, like just right now, it's freezing cold. I'm rushing everything. I'm loading up. You get in the car, you're cold. You're going to be a little in a different mindset, where when I got here, the car was warm. I was comfortable. I'm in that driving frame of mind. More successful back-ins occur then. That's at least the way I'm looking at it. And again, it's okay to disagree, people. The problem with the world today is we've gotten to this point where disagreement means like it implies people hate one another and you want other people to, you know, die. No. It just means we disagree. We need to go back to the time where it was okay to disagree. So it's okay to disagree. I give you permission to disagree. This channel, I think we all think alike anyway, but if you want to disagree, that's cool too. Oh, the one other Christmas gift that I got that is just amazing. It's a video game, and I cannot get over how much entertainment value, if you're into that space, like if that's your thing, and it's definitely my thing, I get so much entertainment out of these things that it's totally worth it. So I've already been playing my newest game, Shin Megami Tensei 5. It's a mouthful. It's a Japanese role-playing game, RPG. So much fun if you're into that sort of gaming style, which I am. All the Final Fantasies are set up that way. And it's been so good. I think these last couple of days, I've put over 15 hours on that game. So I've been up till like 3:30 in the morning playing this game. It's so much fun. All right, I'm gonna go get home, relax, and enjoy the next days of Christmas. Well, good morning there, people of the grid. Look at that. Inside the car, it is so cold. Minus 28 degrees Celsius. I'm in a frozen Tesla, a loaner frozen Tesla, because my Tesla is in the shop and it's all fixed. That noise that we were all hearing that none of you liked, I didn't like it either. It's being fixed. It was a wheel bearing thing, and it's going to be around $600 because the whole hub assembly has to be replaced, apparently. Anyways, I'll be happy to have it all fixed, and I'm going to pick it up now. With the loaner, I don't have remote start, so I get to hop into a freezing cold Tesla and hope it warms up fast, which it should. What do you do in a freezing cold electric vehicle at minus 28 degrees Celsius? You know what? I got the seat warmer on. I'm just going to go. Now that little consumption graph, I use that all the time on my car as well. Those dashed lines on the bottom and on the top of the circle, you probably already know this, but on the bottom, that's your regen. On the top, that's how much power you're using. And the dashed lines just simply mean that you're limited. So I am limited on regen right now. If I let go of the accelerator, the car is just going to keep coasting. It's not going to slow down like it normally does. And I'm limited on my power output. So if I punch it, I'm not going to get full power because the battery's cold. That's the BMS, the battery management system, taking care of the battery for you. The snowflake is also telling you that you're taking an output hit and a power hit until the battery warms up. So we're going to be going through power, but that's okay because I don't have far to go to get to Tesla. Hopefully they're warming my car up. Yeah, we've been in the middle of a deep freeze for a while. It hasn't let up. I mean, it's been at this minus 28 to minus 25 range, and that's chilly. So we're expecting a break hopefully next week as we go into the new year. That would be really nice. But all of our cars are running well. The Leaf, it's in action. In fact, Ethan borrowed it today to go to work. So yeah, it's just doing what it's supposed to do. So are the Teslas. We just plug them in at the end of the day, remote start them to keep them warm, except for the Leaf and the loaner Tesla. But hey, what are you gonna do? And we've had a fair bit of snow here in the city. You could see in the neighborhoods and the residents where they don't plow, the streets are totally covered in snow. And of course all the yards are too. So it's like a winter wonderland. It's just colder than it normally is. The other thing with this Tesla, it doesn't have the winter package, which just means that it doesn't have a heated steering wheel, and probably it doesn't have a heated landing zone for the wipers. I miss that. You don't realize how nice a heated steering wheel is until it's gone. This car, by the way, that I'm driving, it's the same make and model. Not the same make. This is a P90, a Performance 90, so the battery's a bit bigger, and it goes faster than mine. But you know what? I haven't really noticed a difference because I don't drive at that high end all that often, so that's not an issue. I do notice the lack of the heated steering wheel. The other thing I've noticed is my car has 3 times the mileage of this thing. This thing has just 110,000 kilometers, and I'm almost at 300,000 kilometers, so almost 3x of what this thing has. And I think that's just a way you look at things, right? I think there's a lot of people out there that will buy these beautiful cars, whether they're Teslas or other high-end cars, and they'll barely drive them. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? You're just babying that car for the next owner. You're going to give the next owner a deal on your car because you're not going to get what you paid for it. You're going to take the markdown, and then you're going to give them a car that's in great condition with low mileage. Yeah, you'll get some money for that, but you know, they're getting the benefits. So the way I look at it is, I paid for it. I want to get every single dollar that I put into it out of it. So I'm going to drive it as much as I can and get as much use out of it as I can. I do that with all my stuff. I like to get full use out of it. And then when it's time to replace it, then it's time to replace it. We're done at the Tesla service center. There's the light runner. They left him outside overnight, but I was able to connect to the car about 10 minutes ago, so hopefully it's warm. All right, well, it wasn't 10 minutes ago, it was more like 2 minutes ago, so the car is still freezing. I went from one frozen Tesla into another. It's 2 degrees warmer outside, but it's still, you know, it's cold. It's just cold. Okay, let's check out the noise level in this thing. It's quieter. It's way quieter. Wow. What a difference that makes. I've been living with that since like summer, like 5 months-ish, more. So that's what it was. It was the wheel bearing. I don't have the paper invoice, so I don't even know how much it came to. I know it was 600 and change. Not bad when you consider that's all that I've spent on this car this whole year, other than windshield washer fluid. So $600 in a year is pretty reasonable for a car that's 6.5, almost 7 years old. We got it in 2015, so yeah, March of 2022 will be seven full years with the light runner. Still love this car. Woo! Heated steering wheel, and it's getting toasty warm in here too. So, oh yeah. All right, we are heading home. We're going to get ready for a little bit of a New Year's thing with our family, and that's it. It was a good year. You know what? It was a good year because we spent this year not just surviving, which is what a lot of people are doing. We spent this year living, and there's a big difference between just surviving and actually living your life. So we choose life. We choose to live. I choose to be warm. Why do I live here? Why do we live here? No idea. I like that too. Just been a few minutes here. I think 3 minutes total. I've been in the car 4, and it's already warm. It's blowing warm air in the car. Steering wheel is toasty warm. So it doesn't take long to heat up, even when it's extremely cold like this. Now the battery, oh, my snowflake is off the battery, so it's already warmed itself up, which is good. That doesn't mean it's at completely nominal temperature. It just means that edges come off, but still, I got lots of range in the car, got plenty to get home. Play some more video games and board games. Tammy got an awesome board game for Christmas called Villainous. We'll show it to you. We'll play it later. It's a lot of fun.